And welcome to Crochet Hooks. Please enjoy our free tutorials with just one of a 24-part series on teaching you how to crochet. Subscribe to start receiving our 24 courses that are delivered to your email inbox every few days. By the time you're done, you'll know the ins and outs of crochet. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. So now let's get crocheting with Curtsy.
And welcome back to the Curtsy Crochet Hook program. Today is lesson number 4. Today we're going to work on the half double crochet. So we hopefully that you kept your project from before where you were doing single crochet, because we're going to start building on top of this project and start doing half double crochet. So let's get started. So let's get started where we left off, and last time we were actually single crocheting in the last lesson. So this time we're going to half double crochet. So let's rotate our material in our hands. Okay, so this is called the material. I always sometimes instead of saying yarn or fabric, I just say material. So let's rotate it in our hands, and we're now going to double crochet. So we're going to start by working up the next row. Always, 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 when you start the next row, you will always chain 2. Single crochet was always chaining 1. In half double crochet, it's always 2. So let's do that. So 1 and 2. Now, unlike other stuff that we've done before, is that normally in double crochet we would jump over to the very next stitch, which is right here. But in half double crochet we're actually going to still go like we did in the single crochet, where we go into the first one that is part of that chain. So what we do is we go and we do like a rowboat, like we're chaining, and we're just going to wrap the yarn, okay, and going into the very same stitch where this is originating out of. Okay, so when we go in, there will be 2 stitches or 2 strings on top, and what we're going to just do is then pull through. You will have 3 left on your crochet hook, and what we want to do is grab the material and pull it under. See how I twisted down the actual crochet hook? I want to do that so it can just slide through, and we're going to slide through all 3 at one time, and that is a half double crochet. So now we're just going to move along, and so you can kind of see that this here is part of the chain. This is actually half double crochet, and you kind of can see that it's kind of bunching up on the end, and that's just the way it should be. So let's begin as we work our way through the line. So wrapping like a rowboat, wrap, rotate your hook, and now come into the very next stitch. Again, you will see 2 strings on your top. Now the strings in a few more tutorials, we're going to refer to those strings as the front and the back loops, and we'll learn more about that in a bit. So let's we have 3 on our crochet hook now, so let's rotate and pull through all 3. So again, rowboat in to the next stitch, pull through, and then pull through all 3. Go rowboat in, pull through all 3. This is half double crochet. So where are you going to use half double crochet while you continue to follow along with me? I'm just going to keep working my way through. Half double crochet would be used on a lot of baby products because the posts, which are the distance between this line and the top, get bigger and bigger as we move up in our crochet stitching types, right? So in baby style, double crochet would be probably too large because a baby's fingers can fit right through. And we just want to keep on going. My yarn is caught on something off camera. Rotate in, pull through all 3. So I want to take you to the very end of this, so let's just speed up. I'm not going real time yet. So this is half double crochet as I take you to the end, and most people have problems for when they start and stop their edges, and sometimes people end up with triangle blankets instead of square, or their shaping is just really out of whack. So we're coming near to the end. How many stitches do you think that we have left? Let's get in there. So you got 1 there, 2, and 3. You actually have 3 left on here. You want to look at this like train tracks, and you need to make sure that the rails that attach the train rail, like the actual beams that are attaching, are matching. So you got 1 here, 1 there, 1 here, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. So you actually have 3 stitches left. And this becomes more obvious when you do double crochet itself. So a lot of people tend to finish right here And the fact is that you haven't gone over enough, and even though I'm kind of pulling it out like this, using it in your project, it would look like it was enough, and you have to make sure you get into the final one right on the edge. Okay, and when you go into the edge, you want to always make sure you're still grabbing the 2 strings at one time. If you only grab one, you'll end up with a big nasty hole. So let's begin to turn this material again and work our way up again. So remember what we need to do. We need to chain 2. So 1 and 2. And remember that we're going to come into the same stitch that we just originated that chain out of. So wrapping and in, pull through, and pull through all 3. This is half double crochet. So let's work our way all the way back then with half double crochet. So half double crochet, so what's the advantage of it? It will be a little bit of a tighter stitch. A lot of hats are usually done with half double crochet because it doesn't leave a lot of gaps for air to pass through to your ears. It looks a little bit more tidier than double crochet. It's tighter. It's also smaller in height wise, so therefore if you did a half double crochet blanket, it would take you longer or more rows to complete because the height is much smaller. So we're going to finish up, and I want to show you the ending of this row one more time before we release you and schedule you for the next lesson. So we're coming up to the end. So let's review again. So see how this is sticking out? That is not the final when it comes to half double crochet. This one is. Okay? So the reason for that is that when you do a half double crochet, if you don't put an extra right in the end, it actually looks like it's missing something. Okay, so we actually only have 1 stitch left. Okay, this is the rail here. This is part of the chain. So we want to make sure when we go in, we still get our 2 on top and pull through. Okay, see how that just equaled itself? So when we go to turn one more time, I literally have a price tag. I just noticed that. It's probably been there the whole time on this tutorial. Chaining up 2, and I want to go into the very same one on the edge. Pull through all 3 and work your way back across. So continue to work your way all the way back across, and when we pick up with the next tutorial, we'll begin to double crochet using this exact same sample. So we'll see you in the next lesson. So this is it for now. That was the half double crochet. This was lesson number 4. So now we're going to schedule you to get lesson number 5. In lesson number 5, we're going to work on double crochet. Well, it's called double crochet over here in North America, but it's also referred to as trebles over in the European regions. So let's get started, and I'll schedule you for lesson number 5 right now. We'll see you next time, and I'm your host, Mikey, on behalf of the Curtsy Crochet Hook program.